Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Beginners Online Trading webinar. My name is Danny, and I will give you the webinar today. Okay, I will explain what will happen in the webinar, and then we can hit the road. So to begin with, the first part will be more of an introduction to AvaTrade, what services we have in our facility, what some buttons here are doing, what this interface is all about, which is called a web trader, by the way. And then the second part will be more practical. We'll look into logic behind certain things we see here, buy, sell, speak about value, leverage, all kind of things here. The second part will be the majority of the webinar. And the last part is a bonus. Perhaps we'll have extra time to do some analysis. Okay, but that's only if we get to it with spare time. Any capital markets and trading information that's closed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only and should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, recommendation, or suggestion. Now, this is a very frequent question. If this webinar can be sent afterwards, or you can get the recordings. And I want to tell you that you can find not only the recording for this webinar, but you can find all the recordings of our webinars in our YouTube channel. Okay, all the webinars, well, as far as I'm concerned, are recorded and uploaded there. So you can just recap whenever you want. Okay, you just go YouTube, put down AvaTrade, and it should pop. Really as easy as it gets. You get there with the, I think, subtitles, and you can control the speed. Yeah. All right, so to begin with, as I said, we are going to begin with an introduction to AvaTrade. So as many of you know, we are a regulated company. We exist since 2006. We have 9 licenses worldwide. Our customer service, in case you got a question or a query, is right here at the bottom left. Okay, you can access it through the chat or the WhatsApp, or to send an email to cs@avatrade.com. Now, this interface is called the web trader. And there is a lot of content here that you can enjoy for free. And believe me, this is a very useful content, okay, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But this interface here, the web trader, let me also put it, this is the desktop version, right? But we also have it in the app. So we have the web trader in the AvaGo, which offers very similar features. It might look different because this is a phone and this is a computer, but at the end of the day, you can find the same things. Now, regarding customer service, if you don't see this interface this way, and this is what you're supposed to see after you're logged into the website, you can try and click on Web Trader or Web Trading. Okay, if you can't see this interface and you would like us to apply it on your account, you can just contact the customer service or your senior account manager. Now, customer service is giving support with customer service queries, and senior account manager is taking care of the trading aspects. In other words, you can get all kind of information from the senior account manager regarding a plan, regarding a strategy, regarding calculations, regarding risk money management. Anyway, you get the idea, right? So a senior account manager can be extremely useful along your journey with us, and we don't charge any extra for that. So check your eligibility with customer service after you've made a deposit, unless you've already been assigned. Could be that the senior account manager already contacting you automatically. All right, so beside those 2 individuals, we are going to proceed with the platforms that we have. Therefore, I would like to push this guy a little down. And now we're going to put down MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, Ava Options, and Ava Social. All right. We're not going to talk too much about the rest of the platforms because we don't really need to. MT4 and MT5 are self-explanatory. MT5 is supposed to be a more sophisticated, advanced version of MT4. Okay, some may say. But you can explore and find thousands of tutorials on those platforms by yourself. They are great. That's all I can say. I don't want to talk too much about them. Other options is a different concept. I'm not going to teach you options today, so there is no point talking about the app too much. I'm just going to tell you that the app itself is quite remarkable in terms of predictions, in terms of calculations, in terms of just very accessible in terms of utilizing your margin. Okay, and of course, launching the options and so on. Now, Ava Social is something that I do want to say a few words about. And the reason is because, as I have said in the beginning, this is a webinar for beginners. And Ava Social, what it allows you to do is simply to follow or copy a trader. So what happens if I download the app, right? If I download the app, I get access to lists of traders, which I can pick from to follow or to copy. If I'm copying someone, that means that I'm linking my account to his account, and whatever the trader is doing, my account will do the same. Okay, I can turn it on or off, and I can also determine the difference in lot size and to customize my account to make sense to the trader that I'm following. So in case that I'm following someone with $1 million and I'm only with 10,000, and he might take a position that I can't take, I won't have any negative impact. Okay, I can adjust it and I can do it in the app. Unfortunately, I don't have an opportunity to show it to you now. But if you download the app, it's super, super user friendly. Of course, it's for free to download, so I'd highly recommend it. And yeah, so copy trading is really automated trading. You're linking your account to somebody else's account. This is a piece of document you need to sign and so on. This is something you can easily do in the app, as I have explained. Now, follow, of course, I'm going to get, when I'm copying someone, I'm not only going to launch the position as the person I'm following is doing, I'm also going to get all the information of these positions in my system. So I can go ahead in my own trades and I will see which trades I took, obviously which trades I took automatically, right? If I'm following someone, I will enjoy the same process just without launching the position automatically. So following someone will let me see in my system to get notifications with the trader's position, and I can either choose to do it the same way or to maybe modify and then do it. But the point here is that if I'm following someone, I can actually see somebody else's strategy without doing any strategy, right? If I'm copying someone, that means that I will launch, my account will launch position automatically. Okay, I hope you understand the difference. Let's carry on. Do we have any questions so far, by the way? Any questions? So to copy, yes. So there is a question from Albert. Albert, you've understood perfectly. Copy means that this is automatic trading. Follow, you're going to get messages with these positions, and you can just trade it or not. Now, let's proceed with a web trader. I'm going to show you a couple of things here in this interface, which, like I said, in my opinion, they are super useful. We're going to begin here at the left side. We have all kind of things. Obviously, the first 4 here is more of an overview to my account. I can here we are at the trade. I can see my positions. I can see my orders, my history. But if we go further down, we have here the signals. Okay, let's minimize this by clicking on the 2 tiny arrows to the right. Okay, so you see 2 arrows. And now I can see that the signal section and that thing over here looks the same, right? What is that exactly? This blue lightning icon. If I click it, it launches the signal. So what I'm going to show you is the signal section, and I want to also show you that there are two ways to access these signals. One way is via, like I'm showing you now. You see, some assets will have it, some instruments, okay, in this case, they all have it, and that's fine. I just picked here agriculture from commodity just to demonstrate that some assets, some instruments has a signal, some assets don't have it. When you do have it, you have a blue lighting icon here. When you don't, you just don't have it. The advantage doing it from here is that I can search my asset and pick it from the list, just like I did now. And it's going to show me, if it has a signal or not. Okay, that's the advantage. If I'm doing it from here, I can look for NASDAQ, see if it has a signal. Okay, I'm picking it from the list, right? And now you see it's showing me that it has. This is if I do it from here, from the outside. Now, if I do it from the signal section, okay, then I know that most of the assets here does have a signal, okay? But there are cases, which I'm going to show you, that the signal has already passed, you see, and it looks like that. But you see the majority cases here, they do have a signal, and I can just go scroll down the list and really just pick whatever I want, right? Let's take gold. Okay, so how do I use the signals exactly? Super simple. I'm just opening the signal, click here on view signal, and I look at the buy or sell scenario. Let's say we're going to go with a buy. And there we are. We already have the signal embedded in this position. We have a take profit. We have a stop loss placed automatically, and I can just launch it if I want to. Now, this is a very, very basic way using the signals. And I'm going to show you some very easy tips how to utilize a bit more efficiently with it. Okay, although it's not mandatory, you guys saw it took me 20 seconds, I think, to launch the signal. Okay, let's do it again. Click on view signal. Let's go this time with a sell. Then I launch here, sell, perfect. I can also see I can possible profit 63 quid. 22 is what I can lose. Great. I click here, sell. Took me 20 seconds. Now, to tell you if you should do it this way or not, obviously I'm not going to tell you, but I can show you another way just to validate a few things and to be able to utilize with the signals a bit more efficiently. Okay, to begin with, I would like you guys to know what is take profit and stop loss and how the signal actually works. So if I'm looking at gold, we see here we have entry, stop loss, take profit, and the type. Right now it seems like a buy. And we also get to enjoy when the signal was produced. So by a linear time frame, we have here from the most recent to the farthest. Okay, it's been a while. Okay, now if I click here on view signal, you see entry price is what the signal was based upon, right? Now I have the take profit and we have the stop loss. This is for a buy. And this is why the take profit is higher and the stop loss has to be lower. Okay, how does that work? Let's suppose that we would like to take with a buy. We would like to go with a buy. One of the things that I'm going to do to validate if this is a buy or not is to obviously see the same levels we have here. I'm not going to be able to do that as long as I'm looking at minutes, and the signal is based on days. Daily candles. Now, in here in this toolbar, to the left, we have here the time frames. I click and I can drag down. Okay, this segment is for minutes. This segment is for hours. This is days, weeks, and months. So we're going to pick the days. Now I can enjoy the same levels that we have in here in the chart, and I can simply customize it to see the same levels with the same support and resistance. Of course, I don't have to. It's already mentioned here. But again, I'm just showing you to be able to have the ability to compare. Okay. And I can carry on, place the lines. I can match the lines to the exact numbers we have here. It's not a problem if I want to. So we validate the time, we place the lines. Okay, now I can perhaps do some further analysis. We have support and resistance. I was about to explain that the take profit and the stop loss are pending orders. Pending orders in terms of if I'm looking at a buy and I have a take profit marked at 24.25, which is here, right? And my stop loss is 24.05, which is here. Okay, that means let's paint it in red, in green, that if it reaches the take profit, it's going to close my position automatically with a profit. And if it reaches the stop loss, it's going to stop my position automatically with a loss. In other words, I don't have to do anything to let the signal work. If I click here buy and I have take profit and stop loss, as the market is moving, I'm either going to make 72 or lose 86. Of course, I can close this position before, or I can modify it if I want to. But to use the signal is super, super simple, as I showed. Okay, we're going to show it again. 3 clicks. 1, 2, 3, and we are on. Okay, I can launch the position. Super simple, very straightforward. Do we have any questions, guys, about the process or the service or anything else at this stage? Any questions? All right, what the levels pop up by themselves? Will the levels? No, sir, Mr. Nicholas. They will not pop by themselves. You, sir, have to place them on the chart. But you can either do it like this, or you can also maybe use Fibonacci retracement, right? And it will help you modify the differences and to pick your own support and resistance. Okay, but regarding the signal, as I showed, it's really, really easy, and just take your time if you want to place those lines. But no, it's not appearing automatically. It only appears automatically here to the right. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Yeah, let's carry on, guys. I would like to show you the next thing, which is the economic calendar. Ooh, time is on the essence. Okay, we have to hurry up a little bit. Just a few words about the news section. Okay, so what we saw was technical analysis, right? Those signals are technical analysis. Okay, now how do we? So we have two kinds of analysis. We have technical analysis and fundamental analysis. How do we do fundamental analysis? So technical analysis is basically what we see on the chart: averages, levels, support and resistance, all kind of numbers that helps us estimate patterns and technical things, right? Fundamental analysis is exactly the other thing. It's basically what is not in the charts. This could be any kind of news, occurrences, really articles, whatever you want to name it. Okay, this is fundamental analysis, and it should go along. The reason is technical analysis might be how the asset is moving, and fundamental, perhaps we could call it maybe why it's moving, right? Yeah, we have a question from Haiti. Join, will there a recording I'm able to access? Absolutely, absolutely, Haiti. I said that, but you probably wasn't here when I did. There will be recording, and it will be uploaded to YouTube for your convenience. Okay, but you gotta be patient. I don't know if it will happen exactly as we finish the webinar. It might be later today or tomorrow. Okay, but eventually it will be there. Okay, so what I was about to explain is about this section is super simple to use. Again, we have here all kind of well, news. We can customize to commodities only or stocks or whatever we want. The beauty using this feature, well, tab, the news tab is, oh, it's important to say that it's from the Trading Central. Okay, we, AvaTrade, we don't do that. Okay, at least not that part. It's from the Trading Central, third party. And what happens if I look at the article? Okay, that's great, but what can I trade using this article? So if I look here at the bottom and I click on related instruments, it's going to show me that this might be related to crude oil, gold, Bitcoin, and USD CAD. Okay, and so the rest of the things, if I click, it's going to show me. Okay, oh well, currently we're only on commodities. If we change the stocks, now I see we have different things. Very nice. Okay, if I go further down, we have here the discovery. In here, if I go with discovery, let's say market buzz, I can find things that has some nice volatility, that has a lot of news, movements around them. You see Tesla, yeah, Tesla looks very, very interesting. Same for NVIDIA, Google, and Apple here. We can also find Netflix, Microsoft. Okay, I can carry on. You can play, like I said, this is super, super useful. If I click on Tesla, it's going to open me some numbers, which later on I can monitor and understand. Okay, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's look at the economic calendar before we finish this segment. Okay, so we saw the signal for technical analysis. Now we've looked at three different things for fundamental analysis. Oh, sorry, two things. And this is the third. And in here as well, I can filter to specifically what I want. Oh, it seems like it's already on. Just a second. Yeah. Now, when it's on everything, I can filter it specifically to what I want by clicking on all countries and then to pick specifically what I want. Let's suppose that I am following the yen, okay, as an example, and I want to see only events related to yen. Okay, those are my events. Those are my events for today. Let's suppose that I want to see not only what's happening today, I want to see today, and I want to, let's say, until next week, right? So what's going to happen is it's going to show me all the events in linear order from here towards 25th, 26th, the rest of the days until a week forward. Okay, now another thing that I can filter by is the impact. If it's low, medium, or high, simply by clicking here on low, medium, or high. Let's suppose that I'm going to go with a medium. It's going to show me medium as well. Why is this a little bit grayish as compared to the rest? This because this event has already occurred. We can also know that by looking at the actual. Obviously, we're not going to have any actual result until the event took place, right? But if it did, it's going to appear in here. Okay, it's going to, just a second, guys, I'm sorry. Okay, as I was about to say, the actual only appears after the event took place. Beforehand, we get the previous forecast, the previous in the forecast. Okay, later on the actual. Previous is the what happened last time. Forecast is what we expect, perhaps, that will happen around that range. And the actual is the, like I said, the result. Okay, I can also name, let's say I want to name specific event. Okay, it's not showing us the, oh, right, we are on yen, and we can't find it when we are marked on yen. So let's say farm. Okay, and we have non-farming payroll. As you can see, I can name it and I can cancel it, and it goes back to normal. Super, super simple and useful. Okay, now let's carry on with ease. We have concluded the first part. Now we can get down to business and learn how to trade. And for that, let's look add perhaps oil. I think might be interesting today. Yeah, not bad. All right, before we do so, I would like to give you a nice guide through about the toolbar, what's happening in here, so we can be on the same page. And let's get rid of really everything we have here. Yeah, that's all we need. Okay, so with crude oil, and I'm looking here at the chart, it looks very bearish. It's the third week. We're looking at weeks, right? It's the third week it's been bearish. Bearish, by the way, it's when the same way a bear slam his opponent to the ground, we're looking at a bearish trend, right? And a bull, the same way that a bull lifts his opponent in the air, this is why we're calling it bullish. It's a bit prehistoric facts, but why not? So in here, it seems like we're heading to the support line, just to understand the idea of how support and resistance works, right? If this would have been my room, okay, as an example, so I will have the ceiling, I will have the ceiling and I will have the ground floor. So my ground floor will be my support, okay, and my ceiling will be the resistance, resisting the S to go any higher, and the support is supporting the instrument from falling farther down. Okay, that's a nice way to remember it. Now, how are we using support and resistance? Okay, since we acknowledge a certain level like that as resistance, okay, and we can understand that. Okay, let's look at the support. I think it's easier to explain about something that we're having now. Let's look at this level as a support line, and now we are at 77.5, right? I understand that 72.99, let me be precise a little bit. 72.46. Yeah, close enough. So in here, if I wanted to be 46 exactly and not 48, sometimes placing the lines can get a little funky because it's not giving you the exact number. So what do? You can just place it anywhere. Okay, let's say here, and you can put down the number that you want specifically, and the line will jump exactly to where you want. Okay, let's suppose we're going to go for a sell, and this is our support line. Okay, we are looking at here, let's put a rectangle, I think it will be easier. And we can see this is a very, very strong support we are having here, right? Look how many times it tried to pass that support, right in here. And around that level, it consolidated a little bit, then it went bullish, fell down, and now it's heading to the same level, okay, 72. It still has another roughly $5 to go, but we can definitely acknowledge this is the next possible station, right, for this train, perhaps. Now, enough with analysis. I don't want to show complicated things before we are having this guide through about the toolbar. So in here, this is a search bar. There is really nothing to explain. I can put down whatever I want. Crude and to pick it from the list. Going to the right, we already saw that the time frame can be changed. Here I have a tiny toggle I can play with, or I can click and just scroll down with a wheel on my mouse, scrolling up and down. Again, different segments. Let's keep it for a week for now. In here, I can change the shape of the chart, bar, candle, or line. Let's, for instance, I could go with candles. If I go with the line, what will happen with some candles? Okay, it's not going to show me some area of my candle. Watch what happens. Yeah, where is the line that used to be here? Anybody knows? Where is the line that used to be here? Now, because I've changed to the line, the thin line from the candle, the tail that came out of the candle, doesn't exist in here. So we have to change back the candle to see that, right? You see, it's back on. So if I keep going to the right, again, I'm not going to tell you what's better to use, but we understand candles can give you different inputs. If I go to here, I can change to crosshair or no crosshair. Now I can only click and drag. Okay, but with this, I get the info from the candles each day, what it means. For instance, if I'm looking at last week, we can see that the opening was 82.24, close was 79.02, high was 83.81, and low is 78.83. That's very, very nice. Okay, now we have data. That's good. If I keep going to the right, here we can change the layout. Here we can have an indicator. Here we can apply all the nice things. Those three are quite self-explanatory. There is really no need to explain too much. You can just play with them and see how you can utilize. In here, we are going to add an indicator, so I should just wait until we do so, and then I'll explain how it works. Now we can get to business. So we have crude oil in front of us. We are expecting, okay, so we are now on a buy, right? That's important to understand. If I click here on buy or sell, let's go this time with a sell. Whatever I marked, if it's a buy or a sell, see it's a little more grayish in here. This is a brighter blue, perhaps it's darker blue. I don't exactly know how to call it. And now we are with a sell. Okay, let's suppose that I'm going to take a sell now as it is. This is a good idea? Can I take a sell now, guys? What do you think? Or I should do some few things before I take a sell. Okay, if I take a sell now and oil goes down, will I make profit? If I take a sell and crude oil goes down, will I make a profit? What do you think, guys? Okay, let me also put that this way just to make things a little clearer. Okay. All right. Haiti, you wrote yes. Martha, that depends how far down. Oh, okay. It's a very diplomatic answer. That depends how far down. Okay, Mohammed, yes, a profit will be made. Very good, very good. So majority of the people here, beside Martha, that you wrote that depends how much, mostly you are correct. When I'm with a sell and my asset goes farther down to the profit area, I'll be making profits. First, I have to overcome the spread, which makes me begin with a minus, and then I'll start making profits. It's important to understand that if it goes farther down, I will make profits, but I don't know how much, okay? And I don't know how farther down it needs to go. So for instance, if I'm gonna go with a buy, with a sell now, and it goes to, let's say here, okay? 76, you see it doesn't let me land it. Let's customize it manually. And I believe that it does that because we have the rectangle on. Let's try and place 76.5. Yeah, assuming guys it will get to the pink line. Will I make profits? Okay, let's test it out. Let's simulate. I'm gonna click on the take profit. I'm gonna place here 76.5. And I can see that I can make 100 quid if it gets to here. Okay, let's suppose that my target is not 100, but I want to make at least, since this is a week, let's suppose I want to make 500. So I'm changing it to 500, but then it's showing me that it needs to go all the way here. Okay, how does that work exactly? Because it was a 107. You see it wasn't here. And when I change to the platform how much I wish to make with the same lot size, it shows me, Danny, this is too close, okay? This is too close, and you're selling 100 barrels. What you're really looking for is down here. Okay, so reaching the pink line will get me 107. reaching the green line will get me 500, 509. Okay, now let's suppose that I'm happy with that. Okay, but I wish to confirm that it can really get down to that level. Okay, how can I know it's not gonna happen the same way it happened here? Okay, let me put this aside so we can focus. Look what happened in here, guys. Okay, it started going down. Again, 3 bearish candle. But what happens after this 3 bearish candle? Reversal, right? Reversal. How can I know if my reversal is going to be here, it's going to be here, or it's going to be here at the bottom? Okay. In other words, what I'm asking is, how can I know if my asset will turn around? Or maybe, well, definitely it will turn around, but how can I know when crude oil is going to turn back? Okay, so there are a few ways. But to begin with, so I won't start forgetting what I said. I would like to put down some structure. Okay, so we spoke about a target. We spoke about a time length because we are now analyzing weeks. So it would make sense to pick a target for, well, something weekly. If I'm holding this position for a year, I might as well change the time frame that I'm analyzing. Okay, so let's suppose we are looking for 500. Let's make it a little more, right? Let's make it 750. Why not? The time length, let's keep it 1 week. It's not that bad. Now movements. What is movements exactly? So we said if we are selling now when it's 77.5, we are looking for a certain movement from here to here, from here to here. Okay, from here perhaps to here. Okay, but at the end of the day, this is movement or price difference. Okay, which still we don't know. And the last one will be units. Now, with this, I can understand that taking a sell is insufficient for me to know if crude oil will get to 72.5. Okay, I need some way to estimate if it can really get to here, if it can get to here, so I'll have a better idea where I stand. Now, one way to do it is simply to look at the length of previous candles and to determine roughly where it can get to. And then I can say, because of in here, it moved, let me jot it down. Let me just jot it down quickly. Okay, you guys see that if I point on the candle, it's showing me here a rectangle with numbers, right? So we can go open, close, high and lows. In my open, we're just going to put the numbers down. Open 82.24. Close 79.02. High is 83.81 and low is 78.83. Now, if I quickly go and subtract the differences between those parameters, I can assume that oil can potentially move between 316 to almost 5. Now, this is 100% looking at the candles without any further analysis or any other indicator, okay? But just from that, I can understand that to get from here to here is more than last week, okay? Now, if I would like to make this as an average, I'm looking for an average, not just a one-time move. I want something to rely on systematically. So I can keep taking more and more candles, and obviously this will eat most of my time, right? To start putting down all the numbers. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Okay, or I can click here on FX indicators, put down AVE, and then to click and drag it to the right. I can change the type from Wilder, simple, exponential, or weight. Less relevant for us at the moment. And I can also change the amount of candles that it analyzes to give me the average. Let's go with 7, okay, for the length. And we can also change the color if we want. And now we have an actual average, which is 3.6766 and not between 316 and 5. Yeah? Now, let's apply here the ATR and let's simulate where the take profit can be. Now, because we are with a sell, and I wish potentially that crude oil will go lower on its value. Remember, buying something, you want the value to increase. Selling, you want the value to decrease. So for instance, if I'm going to go with a sell, okay, and I'm looking at here, I'm looking at 3.67, which is this, okay? And I'm thinking perhaps my stop loss should be, my take profit should be exactly as the ATR. So what I can do is I can go and say, now price equals 77.65 and take profit target price equals, let's see, because we are with a sell, we're going to go 77.65 minus 367 if I'm basing my take profit on the ATR. Okay, the most important thing here is to remember, guys, that this is average true range and not a guaranteed true number. Okay, it's an average. It's an average range. There is a question here from Nakuta. What makes you take a sell? Like I said, Nakuta, what makes me want to sell is the 3 nice bearish candles that I'm looking at after this nice pattern of reversal that we had here. And I have a reason to believe it's still capable of reaching that range. I don't know if it's going to exceed that range, but I have a reason to believe it will stay there until, well, unless something fundamental will change the direction. All right, let's see if it makes sense. Let's put here 73.89, sorry, 98. All right, and now we see that the potential profit is 375. Now we're not looking for that. We're looking for 750. Okay, so how can we know how many units we need? All right, we have the ATR. We can either modify this, maybe make it more, maybe make it less. Okay, but how can we know how many units we need? Because it seems like we don't have enough to make 750. We have enough to make, what's that, 0.1. Okay, let's see how much we need to make 750, right? So we're gonna go using a very simple equation, which is target divided by movements equals units. And that means our target is 750, therefore 750 divided by 3.67 equals, just a second, 204. Okay, well, we're not going to be able to take less than 10 because crude oil is measured with increments of 10. Okay, 0.01 equals to 10 because the lot size is 1,000 and this is 1%. Don't get confused by that. It's less relevant at the moment. But the point here is that if I'll go 200, it should show me. Just a second. Yeah, close enough. Close enough. Okay, again, we can take 4 barrels, but this is very close. This is not bad at all. Now, if we make the same length as comparison for just a second, 77.67. Let's try now simulate the stop loss, where the stop loss can be. So instead of subtracting it from the price, which fits for take profit for a sell, we're going to go stop loss equals, so that means instead of now price minus 3.6, we're going to go plus. Because with the sell, a take profit needs to be higher, right? Which is vice versa from the buy. 81.32. Okay, 81.32. Great. And now we're looking at the same loss and the same profit, almost the same loss and profit. Let's suppose that I'm not happy with this ratio and I would like to adjust it to something else. If I want to minimize my possible loss and keep my possible profit, the easiest thing for me to do is just to get the stop loss closer. Meaning, instead of taking a length of 3.67, I can go for maybe 2 or, well, whatever else I want. Let's try 2 instead. 77.68 plus $2 instead of 3.67 will bring me to 79, right? And if I'll place it at 79.67, sorry, it shows me less than it was before. Okay, if I want to compare it with my balance, I can see that this is 4%. How can I possibly know that? Let me recap. I think we have 3 minutes. Let me just quickly here recap what we did until now. So we have, well, I don't want you guys to miss that because this is a very, very important bit. Okay, initially we looked at the sell. We looked at the very nice structure here. We understood this is a potential sell. We understood it reversed last time, so we didn't go too ambitious with our take profit. We also compared it with the ATR, understanding that taking a sell without any measurement doesn't really give us too much. Okay, when we are selling or we are buying, we are looking at certain number as a target. I can just randomly sell and expect to make whatever I want to make. So we had to design it. We choose the number. We looked at a certain target price, and then we start looking at the candlesticks. When we looked at the candlesticks, we understood that each candle is different from the other. And to have an average, we have to take, well, more than one. So putting all the numbers down is very time consuming. We have applied the ATR to provide us with an average. Okay. Later on, we looked at the current price and we subtracted to determine where can be the potential take profit. When we understood the take profit can be at 73.98, we also customized the necessary lot size to achieve the target that we wanted. When we done doing this, we also take the same length of the ATR and applied it to simulate the stop loss. This time, instead of subtracting it from the now price, we have added it to the now price to simulate where can be our stop loss. We originally had the stop loss at 81.68, which could have led us to lose approximately as much as we potentially could make. And then we have customized it to make the ratio a little more preferable when we can make 740 and lose only 400. Now, before do we have any questions, by the way? This was a very quick recap, but we don't have a lot of time, so we had to do it this way. Do we have any questions, guys? Anything here doesn't make sense? Is there anything? How can I know? All right, so Nikita is asking, how can I know what will be the exposure of my position? All right, so Nikita, the simple thing to do is basically to go possible loss divided by balance equals X, right? And then you go X times 100 equals exposure percentage. Right? I'll give you an example. If we're gonna go 400 divided by 10,000, that's, oh, oh, sorry. Let me do it with a calculator this time. Right, so we take that and we simply multiply that by 100, right? And there we go, right? Super simple. So this is 4% out of my 10K. I hope it helps. Is this understood, Nikita? Is guys, I hope that everything else is okay. Yeah, with pleasure. It is incredible. I agree with you. It's super simple. I'm into simple techniques. All right, guys. So it's been a pleasure giving you here today. It's a question from Caroel. What does the ATR stand for? Change. Guys, the ATR, the average true range, let me clarify again. What it does is it measures the average of, it giving you an average true range based of the number of candles that it analyzes. Okay, average true range. What it does is it accumulates the previous few candles that you pick, and it's giving you an average range of movement. Okay, guys, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye for today. I hope that everything makes sense and I could contribute a little, at least something new. And that's it. Tomorrow we're going to have the live Q&A. You're all welcome. I wish you all a fruitful week and best of luck with trading.